Hello, dear students. This is Dr. Diana Prem from the Department of Oral Pathology and Oral Microbiology, dealing with the subject dental anatomy, embryology, and oral histology. Today, I'm here to talk to you about one important teeth of the mandibular arch, that is the mandibular premolars, both first and second mandibular premolars. Before going into the topic, let us know the learning outcome of this lecture. After this lecture, you are expected to identify the anatomical landmarks and the morphological characteristics of a permanent mandibular first and second premolars, and also to differentiate between the mandibular first and second premolar. Does that end there? No. Based on the objective, you are expected to reproduce the knowledge which you have understood in the carving, wax carving that you're going to do in your first year, and also during the cavity preparation and the further procedures during your preclinical work in second year. And this training that you are given during your first and second year will help you in your clinical years and also for your life, in order to develop the psychomotor skill for restoring the tooth which has been lost or decayed with proper form and function during your clinical practice, which is going to be your bread and butter for your life. So knowing the importance of this subject, let us go into the topic. Premolars are the transitional teeth located between the canine and the molar teeth. By definition, premolars are permanent teeth distal to the canines and successors to the deciduous molars. In this statement, we understand that the premolars are absent in the deciduous dentition, and the successor teeth of the deciduous molars are going to be the premolars. There are two premolars per quadrant in the mandibular arch and are identified as first and second premolars. They usually have two cusps and are also called as bicuspids, that is, tooth with two cusps, one large buccal cusp and a smaller lingual cusp, which is a very important feature in a premolar. The lower second premolar may sometimes have two lingual cusps. The description of it we will be seeing in future slides. Coming to the chronology of mandibular first and premolar, usually the second premolar is always 1 year delayed when compared to the mandibular first premolar in all the aspects of the chronology, that is initial calcification stage, crown completion stage, eruption, root completion, everything, any year that is mentioned here, you see it is 1 year excess in the mandibular second premolar. This way you can remember the chronology of the mandibular first and second premolar. This has to be by-hearted. So now as we go into the topic, I have prepared my class in such a way that I keep comparing between the first and second premolar in all the aspects so that you can understand it better and appreciate the difference between each tooth, and we understand better the topic. Okay, the geometric outline of the crown of mandibular first and second premolar from the buccal aspect, okay, or the facial aspect. This is the first premolar and this is the second premolar. Okay, it is almost same in all the aspects except the occlusal aspect of the premolars. Okay, the minor changes do occur in case of the buccal aspect of the premolars. In case of a first premolar, the mesiodistal width is a little bit, few millimeter shorter when compared to the mandibular second premolar. Why this kind of morphology is, the mandibular first premolar always is associated with the tooth adjacent to it, that is the anterior tooth adjacent to it, which is the mandibular canine. Though they are the anterior teeth, and this mandibular first premolar functions similar to the mandibular canines, anterior teeth, whereas the second premolar is adjacent to the molar and it has the functions more of a molars. Functional aspects is more towards the molars. So that is why to appreciate it, the width is a bit cervical portion. The width is a bit more when compared to the mandibular first premolar. That is a minor difference that is seen in the facial aspect of mandibular first and second premolar. Coming to the other morphological changes of mandibular first and second premolar. From the buccal aspect, the crown is smaller and the buccal cusp is longer and pointed in case of a mandibular first premolar. This point, okay, this is the cusp tip of the buccal cusp. Okay, from the buccal aspect, when you see, it is a bit longer and pointed, and the crown looks smaller when compared to the mandibular second premolar, where the mandibular second premolar, the crown is larger and the buccal cusp is not longer, it is shorter and it is less pointed. If you appreciate this portion, it is blunt in appearance. Okay, so coming to the buccal ridge, okay, this is very prominent in case of a mandibular first premolar, whereas in case of a second premolar, the buccal ridge is less prominent. The root is shorter and narrower with pointed apex, and the root is longer and broader with blunt apex in case of a mandibular second premolar. Coming to the lingual aspect of the mandibular first and second premolar. In a first premolar, the lingual cusp is shorter and small, reaching only 2/3 of the crown length and has a pointed tip. Okay, the mandibular first premolar, the lingual cusp is very small. It is rudimentary. It is underdeveloped. Okay, the lingual surface is convex with maximum convexity in the middle third of the center of the crown. The convexity of the crown is in the middle third. And one important feature that is there in the mandibular first premolar is the mesiolingual developmental groove at the mesiolingual line angle of the mandibular first premolar. It is the identifying feature for a mandibular first premolar. Whereas in case of a second premolar, the lingual cusp is shorter and smaller than the buccal cusp, but it is larger than the mandibular first premolar. If you see the image here, the lingual cusp is quite larger when compared to the lingual cusp of the mandibular first premolar, and the surface of lingual surface is convex with maximum convexity on the occlusal third. Here it is on the middle third of the tooth, whereas in second premolar it is on the occlusal third, and the mesiolingual developmental groove is not present in case of a mandibular second premolar. Each and every terminology I'm mentioning here is very, very important. Coming to the three cusp type. As we all know, the mandibular second premolar has three cusp pattern. Okay, the occlusal pattern differs accordingly. So in the before slide, what we saw is a premolar of two cusp type. Okay, in that there are certain differentiation between the mandibular first premolar, whereas in case of a second premolar with three cusp type, the mesiolingual cusp is longer and larger than the distolingual cusp. The lingual cusp is divided into two, where the mesial and distal cusp. So the mesiolingual cusp is longer and larger than the distolingual cusp. They both are shorter than the buccal cusp and are pointed. Okay, this is the mesiolingual cusp and this is the distolingual cusp. Both are shorter than the buccal cusp, and the surface convexity again is similar like the other two cusp type. That is, it is in the occlusal 1/3, and here also the lingual developmental groove between the two lingual cusp is seen. It is a lingual developmental groove. It is not mesiolingual developmental groove that is seen in the mandibular first premolar. Here it is the lingual developmental groove that is seen dividing the lingual cusps, the mesiolingual and the distolingual cusps. That is an important feature in case of a three cusp pattern of a mandibular second premolar. Coming to the proximal outline of mandibular first and second premolar. The crown is narrower buccolingually and it is rhomboidal in shape with narrow occlusal table in case of a mandibular first premolar, whereas in case of a mandibular second premolar, the crown is wider buccolingually. Again, it is rhomboidal in shape with wider to some extent than the occlusal table. And the lingual inclination is very prominent in case of a mandibular first premolar when viewed from the proximal aspect, whereas in case of the second premolar, the lingual inclination is less prominent. This is the lingual inclination. This is the lingual inclination. That is the buccolingual inclination. It is very less prominent in mandibular second premolar, whereas the inclination is more prominent in case of a mandibular first premolar. Coming to the most important aspect, that is the occlusal aspect. Before that, the three cusp type of the mandibular premolar. In the three cusp type, from the mesial aspect, when you see, the mesiolingual cusp is shorter than the buccal cusp and longer and larger than the distal cusp. As we saw already, the mesiolingual cusp of the mandibular second premolar is larger than the distolingual cusp, but it is smaller than the buccal cusp. That is more appreciated from the mesial aspect of the three cusp type. When you see from the distal aspect, the distolingual cusp is shorter and smaller than the mesiolingual cusp, but both are seen from this aspect. That is, both the cusps are seen from this aspect because it is shorter in height. Both the lingual cusps are shorter than the buccal cusp and are less prominent, and the cervical line is slightly curved in the three cusp pattern, and the cervical line is nearly straight in case of a second premolar. Coming to the occlusal pattern, the occlusal morphology, it is roughly diamond in shape in case of a first premolar, and the lingual convergence is very sharp. Whereas in case of a second premolar, they differ into two varieties, one two cusp pattern and three cusp pattern. In two cusp pattern, you usually see U-shaped grooves or head-shaped grooves. Okay, based on that, these two are differentiated. Okay, where the lingual convergence is very less in case of a U-shaped groove, and the outline is very much rounded in case of a head-shaped occlusal pattern. Whereas in three cusp type, it is usually called as Y pattern. Okay, three cusp type, it is called as Y pattern, and it is almost square in shape, and all the three cusps are well developed here. Whereas in two cusp pattern, a single lingual cusp and a single buccal cusp is developed. Okay, coming into the elevations and depressions that are appreciated in the occlusal morphology of the premolars. These points and landmarks are very, very important for you to know. Coming to the elevations. What are elevations? Mostly the ridges and the cusps are the elevation that are seen. You have to go back and read the definition of a cusp and ridge. There are varieties of ridges seen based on the location and landmark of the ridges. They are named. Okay, based on that, the elevations which we are going to see here are the buccal and the lingual triangular ridges and the transverse ridge. This is the star which is pointing here is the buccal triangular ridge. Okay, and this part is your lingual triangular ridge. These two joining together is your transverse ridge. When it is joined together, you call it a transverse ridge. And these two markings are your marginal ridges, mesial marginal ridge and distal marginal ridge. Whereas in case of a second premolar, again, you see a triangular buccal ridge, a triangular lingual ridge, and two marginal ridges on either side of the occlusal aspect. This pattern will differ in the three cusp type. Here in two cusp type, it is almost similar, whereas in three cusp type, it will differ, which we will see later. Now, these are the elevations. As I again I want to insist that elevations are the cusps and the ridges that are seen. So you have to name the cusp that are seen and the ridges that are seen from the occlusal aspect. Okay, that is to recollect the buccal cusp and lingual cusp. The buccal triangular ridge and lingual triangular ridge and the transverse ridge, the mesial marginal ridge, the distal marginal ridge. Okay, the same applies for the mandibular second premolar also in two cusp type. Coming to the depressions that are seen on the occlusal aspect. What are the depressions that are seen on the occlusal aspect? Grooves, fossas, and pits. These three are the depressions that are seen on the occlusal pattern of the premolars, any posterior teeth for that matter. The definitions of each you have to know by heart. Okay, coming to the grooves. Okay, in a mandibular first premolar and second premolar, there is a central developmental groove present. Okay, in a second premolar, as I said, only in the two cusp pattern, you will able to appreciate the central developmental groove. The blue line marking is the central developmental groove. It is a small sharp line that demarcates between the two cusps and the ridges. Okay, that is very shallow here in case of a first premolar, whereas in second premolar, it is extending between the mesial and the distal aspect of the occlusal surface over the transverse ridge. Okay, over the transverse ridge, it is appreciated. And the another depression that are seen are the fossas, mesial fossa and distal fossa. Okay, the mesial fossa is more oval and distal fossa is more rounder because the lingual cusp is tilted towards mesially. The fossa is becoming smaller in case of a mandibular first premolar on the mesial aspect, whereas it is more round and wider in case of a distal aspect. Okay, and the important feature here in mandibular first premolar is the mesiolingual developmental groove. This particular landmark is the a feature appreciated to differentiate between the right and the left permanent mandibular first premolars. Okay, coming to the second premolar, again you see mesial and distal fossas. Here both the fossas are circular in shape. Okay, whereas in first premolar the mesial fossa is oval in shape, whereas in the second premolar both the fossas are circular in shape, but the distal fossa is a bit larger when compared to the mesial fossa because the mesiolingual cusp is larger here in lingual mandibular second premolar. Okay, because of that reason, the distal fossa is a bit larger when compared to the mesial fossa. These are the depressions seen on the occlusal aspect of two cusp type of mandibular second premolar. Coming to the three cusp pattern of mandibular second premolar. Here we are going to combine and see all the elevations and the depressions seen on the three cusp pattern. Each cusp has a triangular ridge that converges towards a central fossa, which has a central pit. So the pit is seen only in the three cusp pattern of the mandibular second premolar. The mesial and distal marginal ridges are well marked. These pink lines are the mesial and distal marginal ridges. This is the buccal triangular ridge. This is the mesiolingual triangular ridge and the distolingual ridge. Okay, triangular ridge. The distal triangular fossa is smaller than the mesial triangular fossa. Here, the fossas are triangular in shape. Okay, and the distal fossa is smaller when compared to the mesial triangular fossa. And here, you don't see a central developmental groove because of the Y pattern, because of a lingual developmental groove seen on the lingual aspect. This is the lingual developmental groove seen on the lingual aspect. Because of that, the central developmental groove is not seen here in case of a mandibular second premolar of three cusp type. Okay, so what are the grooves you see here are the three developmental grooves. Mesial developmental groove, mesial developmental groove, distal developmental groove, and a lingual developmental groove, which gets you a Y shape of this is the distal, this is the mesial, and this is the lingual developmental groove. Here it gets you a Y shape pattern in case of the three cusp type. Okay, these are the elevations and depressions you see in case of a mandibular second premolar with three cusp type. What are they? The elevations are a single large buccal cusp and two smaller lingual cusps. Okay, you have to name them: buccal cusp, mesiolingual cusp, and distolingual cusp. And there another elevations are the ridges: the buccal triangular ridge, lingual, mesiolingual triangular ridge, and distolingual triangular ridge. And then coming to the depressions and depressions seen, they are the fossas, grooves, and the pit. Okay, you have a mesial triangular fossa, distal triangular fossa, you have mesial marginal ridge, distal marginal ridge, and then you have mesiolingual groove, distal groove, and the lingual groove. Okay, all these things are landmarks are appreciated in the three cusp pattern of a mandibular second premolar. So to conclude, the mandibular first premolar is the smallest among the premolars, and in mandibular first premolar, the lingual cusp is rudimentary, and a mandibular second premolar is the only premolar with three cusp pattern. All other premolars are of two cusp type. There are only two cusps seen in case of all other premolars, but only the mandibular second premolar sometimes has three cusp pattern, that is two cusps on the lingual aspect of the tooth. Okay, both the premolars are having single root only. The major difference between the two teeth is appreciated in the occlusal aspect of the tooth only. Okay, compared to the all other aspect, the major difference is seen in the occlusal aspect. So this is the conclusion. Thank you.